All right, guys. So today we need to talk about the League of the Americas, where I think in a lot of people's eyes, things are really not going well. And this whole merger between North and South America is making less and less sense like every single day. So obviously, we started out with the LTA North and the LTA South, where they both had their split one, where the top four teams from each of these finally came together. So this was the first time that the LTA was going to feel like one cohesive unit. Now, I know a lot of like what the league executives and the league is supposed to be is these two conferences that come together in one league, but that's not really what it feels like at all. Right now, the LTA North and South are so far separate. They're so far removed from each other, except for these times where they're kind of forced into each other, which are also so few and far between, even throughout the course of the entire year, that they don't feel like conferences in the same league. They still feel like two entirely separate leagues that just kind of randomly come together because that's how it is, because we said so. And that was kind of represented really, really well so far in this, like I said, the first mash up between North and South America in the first round of the LTA Split 1 playoffs, where we saw North America go 8-1 and win all four matchups. Now, again, this is an absolute disaster for the League of the Americas for many reasons. One, it kind of proves, I think, what we already knew, or what we already suspected, that obviously North America is significantly farther ahead of South America, especially at this point in time. That's really always been the case. Obviously, previously, North America was a major region, and you can argue, hey, North America was the worst major region, or they shouldn't have been a major region, or whatever, but all the statistics, all the data, all the results that we had ever had showed that North America was by far and away, kind of that fourth best region in the world, and as of late, they've even had better, here and there, some better international performances than Europe, with teams actually making it to quarterfinals of the last two Worlds, where Europe hasn't had any, and obviously Brazil, or South America, whatever, hasn't had any either. And then it's also kind of this disaster of North America having to go all the way down to South America. Again, it might seem like North and South America are close together, but they're really not. It's a very far flight. It's big travel. They're not close together at all. They really have nothing to do with each other except both having America in the name. And I know that there were some, LCS or LTA North teams and players and coaches complaining about the travel and the short travel times and short kind of rollover between travel and games and all this stuff, and how it's very, very difficult. But even despite that, despite having the home field advantage, despite playing against the jet lag teams, despite so many maybe seemingly advantages going on in South America's favor, still North America went 8-1 in these matches with just Team Liquid dropping a single game. The North American teams obviously had to travel all the way down, which they're not happy about, and now they had to travel all the way down just to play what is now essentially an LCS playoffs the rest of the way. If you're South America, you're also not happy, and this makes no sense for you, because now one, you're hosting this big event, this big playoffs, and none of your teams are playing. So the fans who are already, booing the North American teams and stuff like that, now they don't even have any of their own teams to watch, none of their own teams or players to root for. So that sucks. Also, your season is cut short. If this was like still CB LOL or whatever, you would still be getting to see your teams play, and they'd get to play more matches, which is also beneficial for their teams and players to get more stage matches, to get more, time on the Rift and practice and level up and get better and all that stuff. So this really just makes no sense from like every single perspective. Again, this is kind of proving more and more that really the North and South America shouldn't be together, or at least at this time. Again, who knows, maybe in the future this will get better or whatever, but it makes this seem really, really silly and make even less sense. Again, there are still people even complaining about this format as well. I know Ashley Kang tweeted this out, like, I'm confused, how is the semifinals a best of three? Again, you're in like a major region playoffs. The semifinals are best of three. I know a lot of people would really, really, really prefer these to be best of fives. Also, the people are saying, hey, how is this a single elimination bracket? It's crazy that these South American teams got to play a single best of three, and now they're all eliminated. Their split one, is over, and they don't even have a chance to go to the first strike or whatever the first stand, whatever the international tournament is going to be. I don't know. North American fans don't seem happy. They seem confused. They seem weirded out by this. The NA teams don't really seem happy. I'm sure the South American fans aren't happy. I'm sure the South American teams aren't happy. The LTA, the League of the Americas, as a combination, continues to seemingly make almost no sense. And this, with North America winning all 4 matchups, that is a really, really big disaster for the league. Again, it's going to hurt viewership. It's going to hurt fan kind of enjoyment in the actual arena, obviously, which isn't going to be great. Again, you're supposed to be bringing the North and South American fan bases together to increase viewership and increase engagement and all this stuff. Now, that's likely not going to be happening. I can't imagine too many South American fans are going to be caring all that much about this LTA North only road to the playoffs the rest of the way. Again, the format has kind of sucked the whole way, but there's been a lot of like kind of trash split one formats all around the world. I don't know. This seemed like the worst case scenario. Obviously, it's not really surprising. I think a lot of people suspected, at least like 3, if not all 4 of the North American teams were going to win. But to at least not have one South American team making a kind of run or even like looking that strong against these teams. And I know some people are being like, oh, this is going to be good for South America in the long run. Like they're going to continue to play against North America and get better and everyone's going to rise up. But like I Will Dominate is saying, he said this is a very little realistic possibility that these 4 best of 3s will help Brazilian/LLA teams at all. The regions won't play again until the end of the summer, where the games will most likely be completely different than it is now. It's such a weird tournament structure in the LTA where teams play 4 best of 3s at the beginning of the year and then most likely 3 best of 5s at the end of the year. It doesn't generate more hype. There's no real inter-regional rivalry, and both fan bases are left unsatisfied. It seems like a pointless merger. But again, it's also not even giving South America that many opportunities to play against North America to level up and improve and get better and hopefully catch up to their level one day. But also, if you're North America, you want to play more matches against the Eastern teams because you want to try and level up and become them. You don't want to be playing even more matches against Brazilian teams, which you already, kind of see or consider as lesser than you. It's not helping you level up or get better. It just really seems like a lose-lose for everyone across the board. As Winters Ward said here as well, feels kind of bad because LCS was on an upswing too with Mark Z and kind of, having some things go okay last year. CB Lowell was already doing well on their own. Now it just seems worse for everyone. I totally agree that it does. This does kill a lot of the momentum that CB Lowell and the Brazilian League of Legends scene, was seeing. They were doing some cool things in their own way. LTA, now with the LCS, again, killing some of the momentum it had, not really solving any of the previous problems that LCS had. One cool thing to come out of all of this was Blippo tweeting out, who are some LTA South players I would like to work with me. If you want help, I'm happy to review your game and give you pointers on what I think you can work on for next split. We'll be late at night after my practice day is done. So maybe this is some opportunities for collaboration and stuff like that. But again, I don't think there's going to be a ton of like scrims or collaboration or working together between North and South America because, again, it doesn't really seem like they are one league. They're still miles and miles apart after these next couple of weeks. The LTA North and South are not and do not at all feel like two conferences of the same league. Like I said, they do feel like 2 entirely different leagues, and that really is tough for people to swallow in the terms of this being a successful merger now or really ever. I don't really see in the current iteration or in any iteration how this could ever make too much sense, which is kind of what already people, suspect and knew, but I think maybe some of us were willing to give this a try or give it a pass or whatever and see what happened. But so far the LTA coming together doesn't seem like it's going too well, and pretty much the worst case scenario for them with the North American teams just absolutely dominating South American teams in the first round of the playoffs and eliminating all 4 of them right off the bat. I don't know. Pretty much of this video today, guys. Hopefully catch you in the next one. Until then.